Welcome to day 4 of our series looking at the people God used in the Christmas story. It's to give us hope, encouragement, that despite our weaknesses, despite the mistakes that we ourselves have made, God can still use us. We've looked at Jesus' family tree and we've seen that despite all their problems, their weaknesses, their failures, God made space in his family for him. We've seen that the parents of John the Baptist over the last 2 days. Today we're looking at another group of people. Now we normally see, we wouldn't have a nativity scene without them, a nativity play without them. They are of course the boys wearing their dressing robes, towels over their heads, looking cute for the Christmas play, the shepherds. But the reality of the shepherds in the Bible were so distant, they were worlds apart from the picture that we often keep in our minds. These shepherds were not cute in any way. They were rough, rugged men, living out in the fields, spending their day and night there with the sheep. They would just smelt like sheep. They were outcasts in society. Many of them were running away from home. That's why they became a shepherd. That's why they weren't in the town. They were running away from some situation. Do you remember what happened to Moses after he killed the Egyptian there in Egypt? He ran away into the wilderness, and while he was in the wilderness he became a shepherd. That was very much the case for many people. Leave the town, become a shepherd. So they were considered dodgy. They were considered rough, as they were people who ran away from their problems. How often do we run away from our problems? Maybe not into the field, but maybe we're running away from problems in our health, in our family, in our marriages, in our workplace, in our school, in our education, whatever you say it. Often we run away, and we run to work extra hours, to different hobbies. We run to the TV, to the internet, to run away from dealing with the issues. Well, the shepherds were there out in the field. Society considered them outcasts. In the legal system, they weren't allowed to give testimony in court. They were considered to be so untrustworthy that whatever they said didn't count. Religiously, they were also outcasts because of their work involving the sheep. They were unclean, so they weren't welcome to go to the temple to worship. If they wanted to go to the temple, they would have to take 1 week of work to purify themselves. But on poor shepherd salaries, it was simply impossible for them to make themselves clean enough to go to worship. Even the priests, they wouldn't go there to talk to them, for if they touched each other, the priest also would become unclean. And maybe maybe you don't feel clean enough today to go to worship, to go to church, even over this Christmas weekend. You're reminded of the mistakes you've made. And even the religious people, you feel that they're going to look down on you. Maybe they do look down on you. Well, this was the shepherds. They didn't fit into society. They didn't fit into the church. And they were running away, often from their issues. So as the night that we read about here in Luke 2 approaches, Jesus is born. The shepherds are in the field looking after their sheep, as they did probably after a busy day. They were settling down for the night. Now, being shepherds, they would always have slept with one eye open, in the sense in case a predator came for their sheep. It could be a bear or a wolf or a lion, whatever. They would always be alert. They also had to be alert of other shepherds who were trying to steal their sheep. See, they were in the field, and suddenly there was a light, and a big light. And we read there in Luke 2 that they were terrified as the heavens opened up and the angels appeared. It says that unnumbered angels appeared. They proclaimed, glory to God in the highest, and peace on the earth to men, and proclaimed that the Son had been born, that Jesus was here. Now, there's the least place we would expect, or least people. Now, we would expect God and the angels to turn up, maybe in the temple, talking to the high priest, at the very least, in King Herod's castle, or maybe to Julius Caesar in Rome, or Caesar at the time, Caesar Augustine, or to whoever. We would expect somebody important, somebody privileged to have the encounter with all these angels. But the angels turned up in the least expected places. And often God turns up in our lives, in our situations also, in unexpected places. Sometimes that is not when we would expect him to talk to us, but he's trying to talk to us. So how important it is that we are alert, that we are listening to what he wants to show us. She talks to them, and they respond well. Immediately they go down, take a lamb, give it to Jesus, and they tell everybody what they've experienced. Do you know their testimony in court may be worth nothing, but their testimony that night of the angels they'd experienced, they'd seen, of meeting Jesus, that testimony meant everything. It went throughout Bethlehem, throughout the area, people hearing the good news, the wonderful news. So if maybe you don't feel welcome, maybe people don't trust you, what you say today, take encouragement. God has a place for you. If you're running away from your problems, you're not running away from God. He turns up in the most unexpected places and has a plan for your life. Well, may God bless you, and I hope you can join me again tomorrow as we continue this series looking at the unlikely people God uses.